Good evening, welcome to Ask the Plasterer with me, Eric the Plasterer. Oh, it's Halloween, folks. What have you been doing? Have you been out with the kids? Collecting sweeties? Trick-or-treating? Oh. We haven't been out with the kiddies, but we had a little pumpkin out the front and some spooky candles, and I had this sticking out the letterbox. So we did our bit this evening. But tonight we're meeting up for Halloween in the old Hawk and Trowel Boozer. Oh yes, it should be a good one. As ever, get yourselves a drink because when we get into the pub, we'll have a nice old chat. I don't want to be doing all the talking. Unless you've got plenty of questions for me, or tell us about what kind of week you've had, what kind of day you've had, what kind of rubbish tools you got, or what kind of fantastic tools you got. Talk about life in general, and yeah, kick off your slippers or your shoes, grab a pint or something, and yeah, and join us for till about we start. As I say, we start now and we go on till about 8:30 if the need arises. If there's enough people here to have a bit of a chat, then we'll stick around till 8:30. If it's a little bit quiet because everyone's out at pumpkin parties, which wouldn't be great. You've probably done that on the weekend if you were going to do it at all, rather than tonight. I'm assuming everybody can hear me. What we got? Jamie, Wee, Silver, Eddie, Mark, Danny. Are you still in Poland, mate? You're a bit late over here, mate. Yeah, sorry, mate. Well, the clocks have gone back here, haven't they? And they probably haven't gone back in Poland. I don't know. But hey. Right. Here we go. Let's slowly move forward into our Halloween evening. Yes. Hello. Welcome to the pub garden where you can relax a little bit. Just got a couple of pumpkins and nothing else going on for the time being. Right, yeah, let me just catch up on what's occurring. Yeah, Danny. So Danny's over in Poland visiting his daughter. I think it's Poland, mate, isn't it? Well, it's a long way away anyway. Well, it's far enough. I mean, sat in a hotel room, bored out of my nut, as my daughter is ill today. Sorry to hear that, mate. Hopefully be okay tomorrow, the last day. You'll be coming back to sunny England. Yeah, still there. There's a time difference over there anyway, mate, is there? Cool. Right, so how's everybody? Have you been doing anything Halloween-y since it's Poland, mate? Yeah, okay, cool. Since it's Halloween this weekend, just gone. Anything exciting? Gone down? You do all the pumpkins and that, Mark, over in Ireland? Oh dear. If you go back a few years, like Halloween wasn't really a thing in the UK, was it? It came from blooming America. You know, I used to think, oh, that's it, turn the lights off, because I'm a miserable old git. Don't open the door. Don't put no pumpkin out or nothing. But I've softened up to the little kids. It's the big teenagers that knock on your door and just pull their hoodie up and go, guess this way, man. So after 7 o'clock we don't bother. Just because most of the little kids are out collecting sweets and trick or treating between about 5 and 7, and then that's a bit out. Then it's just the teenagey boppers, if they can be knock on your door and possibly ask you for money. So, evening, Michael. Oh, I'm surprised, Mike. You can stay awake through Ask the Plasterer, mate. Considering in the old boozer, considering you just always at work, mate. Always at work. Yeah, it is, Danny. It is about right, mate. Hey, bring all their blooming stuff over here. I don't mind any of the good. Well, are there any good things? But what did the Romans ever do for us? Yeah, but yeah, Halloween and anything. Oh dear. I know thankfully, I've only ever had my house egged once. I wouldn't have minded, but it was a week before Halloween, so it was either that or one of my old customers that I upset. There's a splatter, it's like a clonk on the window, and I thought, what's that? And I've gone out there and there's all this blooming yolk running down me front door and down my front room window. That was a few years ago, but it wasn't very nice. Didn't like it. But yeah, so that's not going to be your little kids, is it? But yeah, Mike, I'm assuming that you are at home, mate, and you've had a bit of dinner, kicked your boots off, and you're not watching from a site while you're waiting for some plaster to dry. So your picture you put up, Mike, the other night of you were obviously working on some job, weren't you, outside in the dark with your 3 spotlights going. Crazy. Eddie, kids have grown up, so don't do anything now. PS4 more important. Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. But yeah, now my kids have grown up, but when they were still at home before, well, the younger one, she's not here tonight, but when she's like normally at home, I'll get her and the missus to answer the door to the kids, because I think, oh, do I have to? Dear, not because I'm miserable. I just, yeah, well, you know. But yeah, I haven't got to do it for my for my kids. Actually, I think when they were growing up, because we weren't really into it then, they weren't that fussed about going trick or treating, so I don't think we ever did. It's just become more popular, and as the time's gone by. Right, what we got here? Right, we've got a few of us on YouTube, and we've also got oh, nobody on Facebook. There were 2 or 3 people here earlier. But they've probably gone, who's this geezer? Ah, dear. Alright. Shall we, in a moment, I think we'll go into the pub. But just before then, because we got some special guests in the bar this evening. They won't be chatting, unless they ring. Mark, yeah, Jamie. So, anyway, let's yeah. Let's pop over there. Hey! Oh no, there's thunder in them there hills. Hey, I'd like to open this evening. We've got Mark and Jamie in the bar. I've got them some Guinness, you can see here as well. Because Mark likes a bit of the old stout, and we didn't have it before because of the pub being a little bit posh since the refurb, but we have now. We've got a special ghostly guest that's going to keep just popping his head up now and again, and that'll be our old friend Pete Carter, plasterer extraordinaire, inventor extraordinaire. Actually, I'm surprised his face ain't popped up yet. It should be about. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Hey! Hello, Pete, if you're watching. And if you're not watching, someone needs to tell you about it, and you can watch this again later. But your pretty face is going to be popping up all night, mate. Oh, he's gone. I'll upset him. An old English pub. Oh, I've missed you. You've only been away 5 minutes, Danny. I've got me Coca-Cola beer. And I have finished off my bottle of what was it? Single malt. Yeah. And I've got some of this gear that a customer gave me. he owns some little brewery that makes I can't even remember what this is. It's some kind of liqueur, but it really blows your head off. And I've had it for a while. He gave it to me as a tip when I finished the job for him. And yeah, it's not when you run out of brandy and you run out of whiskey. This is lovely, but I can't remember what it's called. What's that, Eddie? Grease on kitchen ceiling, that needs skimming. What do you use to clean it off? Oh, sugar soap, mate. Unfortunately, if you want to do, oh, that's the gear I've been told to use. But there's where you get a nice big bucket of it, plenty of hot water, liquid sugar soap in there, give it a good old stir, and basically sponge the whole blooming thing off, mate. Otherwise, you probably get issues when you're trying to cover it. Honey JD with Coke. Yeah, I have to try that, mate. Oh, my father-in-law bought me. I mean, I like drinks like JD and whiskey and whatever, but when it comes to like barbecue sauces, I had a sauce once to put on a barbecue in. It was a Guinness flavour, like Guinness barbecue sauce. And I thought, oh, that sounds nice. Bloody horrible. Oh God, dear, the aftertaste was foul. And me father-in-law bought me some Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce. Yeah, I like Jack Daniel's, but don't like Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce, mate. Barbecue beef shouldn't taste a bit Jack Daniel-y. It's not nice. Only sugar soap all day long. A bit, yeah. Sugar soap. If it's really bad, mate. If it's proper yellow, Eddie, then yeah, that's the only thing you can do. The only thing I hate about it, if it's the ceiling, is it running down your arms, you know? But you need it a bit wet to kind of get going, and you probably have to go over it more than once as well. But it's all part of the fun of plastering, mate. As long as you've allowed for the time and effort to do it in your price, because people don't kind of take those kind of things into account, or unless you tell them when you look at it, oh, that's a bit yellow. I'm probably going to have to get that washed off before I can't just PVA it and skim it. You could try first, mate. Luck of the draw on that one, though, but it's probably not advisable unless you were doing it as if it was small and it was a love job for someone. Then you might get away with trying to PVA over the grease. Yeah, don't know. Oh dear. Bit of a trigger warning. I've got a few spooky things that might kind of pop up on the screen as the evening goes by. If you don't like that kind of thing, then probably best not to keep watching. But we'll see. Nothing too frightening. Just just some kind of like not very nice. But I don't normally have in the pub, but of course we're having it tonight because it's being Halloween. And got a few other things. Just getting ready for the 5th of November when we'll have fireworks. Yeah. There's nothing I can't get in this pub. Just imagine that's a big dark window out the back there, and we can see the fireworks outside because they'll be there on the old firework night edition of Ask the Plasterer here at the old Holcombe Trail. That's got a couple of my friends from Slimming Club having a bit of a where's he gone? Having a bit of a dance in the bar because it's livens the place up a bit. So why not? Or overboard it, Danny, yeah, if you've got a greasy ceiling. But I think it's probably a bit easier to just wash it with sugar soap. Which if it's a smooth ceiling, great. If it's prickly Artex, mate, then overboard it. And they say if it's smooth, it won't be a problem. If you're new to the old Holcombe Trail and Ask the Plasterer, I'm Eric the Plasterer. I've been a plasterer for 38 years in South London, and this is our Holcombe Trail boozer where me, lots of other spreads and the regulars and DIYers and people that know nothing about plastering but think, oh, I'll come along to the pub anyway and might ask you a few questions, or potential customers. This is where we hang out and have a good old natter about stuff, about what kind of week you've had. You can ask me questions plastering related, or things in life in general for a plasterer. I'm assuming everyone's been busy. You regular guys busy? I've finally started, and work started kind of picking up a bit better because it has been, I won't lie, it's been quiet for me a little while back. It's been ticking over, but too slowly ticking. But me clock speeded up a bit now, thank God, especially with Christmas coming. Not that that should be an issue. You shouldn't feel pressured over Christmas to spend a fortune on your family, your kids or whatever, he said. Which is a bit easier, I think, when they're older. But when they're young, you know. Santa wouldn't mind, but Santa gets all the credit, doesn't he? Which ain't so good. Evening. Evening, me old mucker. Stew, yeah. I didn't get a chance to get a picture of it when I got in to put it up on there tonight. But on Trail Talk now, oh, my hands are disappearing. Oh, never mind. On Trail Talk, there is now a Trail Talk storefront where you can order stuff. You can buy stuff, and you get, and there's a little kickback from that stuff. Goes to the Trail Talk site, and I know Stu's just going to be putting any of that money, and it's not a massive amount. You get kind of pennies basically, but the more stuff people buy through the links on the Trail Talk shop front, the more money can come in that can be used to boost up the channel and help Stu, because it's gone from something that was quite small to something that does now take up a lot of Stuart's time on top of having to work full time for a living. So that'd be great if you pop along there. Actually, if you pop along to Trail Talk, Stuart can probably give us more details. But the I know he's got links on there. You can just click on and it takes you straight to the storefront where you can order, well, more or less anything. If you've got any good ideas of stuff you want to recommend as well, you can recommend that. Let Stuart know, and he can put it onto the onto the storefront, so that we know we're getting some good deals. And yeah, but yeah, so I haven't got a picture up here tonight, but I'll have one for next time. But by then you probably would have seen it and been on there and bought some stuff. So if you want anything tools wise, plastering related, go on the Trail Talk shop front first. And also, as I've said before, when it comes to Amazon associate links, if you go on there and you go to the Trail Talk storefront and you're looking at stuff and you decide you want to get something that's got nothing to do with plastering, normally that still applies, and it still get a little kickback to the site. So yeah, so if you want to spend any money on Amazon, basically go to the Trail Talk storefront first, which will be great. Oh, hang on. Chat. Eddie, no, don't I miss some. James, evening James. Just bought the Neela Black edition finishing trowel. Has anyone here used that? It's a Neela Black. Excuse my ignorance, James. Is the Neela Black? Is that a black metal one, or is that a black plastic trowel? It's probably black metal, isn't it? I'm just being not very up on me. Not very up on me new fancy trowels. And while you're letting me know, James, Eddie, I've purchased scrim tape from Amazon through one of your links before. Great price for the 10 rolls. Yeah, the same stuff that I've got a link for on the sticky. I think it's the pink one, as opposed to the orange one you can buy in the B&Q or whatever. That is also on the Trail Talk site, so you can use that link on there as well. Stu, cheers Eric, looking forward to Edinburgh. Oh yeah, well, while I'm here, it is, oh hang on, official, we are meeting up, or anyone that wants to meet up, quite a few of us are going already, in Edinburgh for a spreads meet up on the 10th of May for 2 or 3 days. You can stay there longer if you want. 2023. So that's the 10th of May 2023. There should be some details about that on Trail Talk, and you can always get hold of me for any other details. But basically we're all going down there under our own steam, because there's guys coming from all different parts of the country. Some of us are coming up from London, people coming over from Ireland, a few lucky people already in Scotland, so they ain't got so far to go. But we're looking forward to an amazing time, and it'd be just great to meet up with people that we know but we've never kind of met in the flesh, which will be great. And I know you lot recognise me as Stu anyway when we get to the boozer, but yeah, really looking forward to that. It should be great. Oh. Flipping hell. Right, where's me? Hang on. Hey, back in the room. Hello. Right. Stainless steel. Okay, mate. Have you used it yet, James? Did you say back there? Hang on. Just put the new back edition finishing trout. Has anyone used it before? Yeah, has anyone used the Near Black and got an opinion on it? I think I've heard good and bad opinions on it, but depending on which spread was using it, but I can't remember why they loved it or why they hated it. But if any of them are here tonight, if you can let us know what you think of it, what you think of the Near Black. Right, not used it yet. Okay, mate, cool. Tomorrow? Let us know you get on with that. Let us know you get on with that. Lovely. Oh, let's have a bit of a. Oh dear, that really cuts into your old throat, that one. Wow. Ah, yeah. What a pub, eh? What a pub. Look, we've got everything here. It's cosy. We can meet up here. We can have celebrations here. If you want to book the Halton Trail for your birthday, anybody, let me know. We could get you up on the old Skype telly box up in the corner here, and we can celebrate your birthday with you. Oh dear. But before then, anyway, I think we've got, as I say, we've got tonight. We've got firework night after that, which is only a few days away, isn't it? After this, and then Christmas, yay! Woo! Can't wait for the old Christmas. That should be pretty good. Oh dear. Evening, Tara. Nice to see ya. You forgot it was on, Tara, didn't you? I didn't want to. Yeah, I mean, my spooky things aren't too spooky. Oh dear. Got me lovely lanterns. Ooh, oh, hang on. Oh, there they are. It's amazing what you can do on computers nowadays, isn't it? The technology. It's all very clever. Eddie, nearly gold, love it. Oh, you got a nearly gold, Eddie? Are they just like gold coloured on the back? I mean, what's the difference meant to be between the gold and the black, other than how it looks, obviously? I don't know if one's meant to be thicker, thinner. 1892 trout. Hey, Eric, quick one. How many spreads fly solo? Very hard on your own after 20 odd years working with someone. Oh, you mean working with another spread? Well, I've been working. I used to do site work and stuff, but I've been on domestics now for at least probably 20 years of the last 38. And solo's okay unless you can't. You get used to it. When I've met up and done a couple of jobs with people, like friends of mine that are spreads or builders, and I work with them for a few weeks or a month or so, I really enjoy it. And then when it's over and I go back to just doing domestics on my own, initially you do feel a bit lonely. I mean, the money's good because you're only paying one person, especially if you don't use labour either, since you invent whisks and stuff, especially on domestics. 9 times out of 10, unless you're doing massive amounts of work, you don't really need labour either. But yeah, but after a while, being back on your own, you get used to it. Chuck the radio on, listen to stuff like this, because the last one I haven't done, I'm naughty. This normally goes out as a podcast on wherever you get your podcasts a couple of days after the live stream, and after the live stream is finished, it also goes up as a video that you can watch at a later time. James, Edinburgh sounds good. Are there any particular dates me and Richard will come? The Mrs. Brothers live there, so it would be ideal to visit them too. Well, the plan is for us to we needed to fix a date down so people could book stuff, because obviously the earlier you book any travel arrangements and book a place to stay, the better it is. So we've more or less agreed on the 10th of May, which is a Wednesday. I'm pretty sure it's a Wednesday. I'm going to be getting a sleeper train up there from London. I know the guys, Mark and some of the other guys, I think it's Mark, yeah, got to jump on a plane from Ireland over there. And people are just looking into what would be the cheapest or quickest or best route for them, because we're in so many places. Well, we discussed going, you know, where could we meet if we did meet up, and I thought if London's a bit, apart from the fact it's really expensive, it's I kind of think, well, and we could go Midlands somewhere and that might make it a bit fairer, but I thought, look, Edinburgh is a beautiful place, and though Jamie tells me even if we go in May it's still going to be cold and raining, but in the pub that don't matter, does it? But we should have a right cracking time. So the 10th of May 2023 is the plan that we fixed, and yeah, as soon as I booked my travel and my place to stay up there, then yeah, if anyone else can't make it, I might just be up there on my own. But I'm pretty sure Mark and Jamie will be there, absolutely for sure. And yeah, quite a lot of the guys have put down as going, and we'll see. Any of you guys that are planning to come on that trip, if you can when you do like book your travel or whatever, if you can let us know for sure they're definitely coming, just so we know how big a bar or restaurant or curry house or pub we need to meet up in, so we can all get in. But we are going to have a brilliant time. I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. But it's a bit of a way off yet, but it's something else to look forward to. So put it in your diary if nothing else. 10th of May 2023, Edinburgh Spreads Meetup. It should be amazing. Yeah, just another quick look at that beautiful city. Look, that's not at the top there. Or it will be. Ah, lovely, lovely. There's me. Oh, hang on. Ah. Evening, Richard. Danny, in response to James, I found the needler too flat, to be honest. Oh, as in it hasn't got that kind of nice little curve up at the sides. Hang on. Oh, I missed anybody's questions. Yeah, 1892. If you're still there, yeah, if you've been working with someone for 20 years, then going solo after that would feel odd. But until you might just crack on with it and see how it goes. But as much as I like working with someone else, I find, as I said, once I'm back on my own for a while, I'm fine with it. Sometimes the customers have to put up with my singing, or me talking to camera when I do make a video, which currently is rare, but I'm hoping to change that. Even if I do film some stuff that I've done before, because people like to just watch a new video regardless, apparently. So, oh, right. Edinburgh sounds good. Yeah, go on that one. Danny, since day one, unless I got a big rendering job with scaffolding. What, since day one, mate? What's that? Is that to do with working on your Todd? Or have I missed something? Oh, Mark, I like working in a squad. Makes it easier for everyone. Yeah. When I did work on sites, it was with groups of guys, and I did enjoy it, if I'm honest. It's just initially when I was used to work on sites back in the 80s and early 90s, you got paid on a weekly basis, and in the 80s you got paid cash. It was on the record. You got a pay slip with it, but it was actually a bloke came around with a big case full of thousands of pounds and paid everybody with like proper money. But slowly as time went by, apart from the fact you could get really good money from doing domestic work, a lot of the site work, they wanted to start paying you fortnightly, then they wanted to pay you every 3 weeks, then they wanted to pay you monthly, and Yeah, no, I was used to getting paid weekly. I didn't want to wait a month for my money. And on big jobs, you know, if there's any issues with the clients paying the main contractor, which even if there isn't, they normally will make that excuse in some instances, depending on who the firm is. But yeah, but I did enjoy it prior to that, just because like you can have a good crack together and just have a bit of a laugh, and yeah, it's more enjoyable working with a group of you, and it spreads the pressure out as well. And when there's 2 or 3 of you, you can crack out a lot more work than when you're on your own, especially if you're not using a labourer, because you do everything, aren't you? So you can't quite knock out. Well, you could nearly kill yourself and whack in loads of extra time and overdo it, but you know, you got to look after your joints, don't you? At the end of the day. Cash, what's that? Yeah, yeah. Only occasionally. I mean, I didn't used to have. I haven't had any cash in my pockets for ages until recently, when a customer paid me in cash, and every time I go into a place, I think, oh, should I use a bit of cash or should I just do the flash the card thing again? But I think you're better off not using the cash again. I'm getting used to that. And yeah, I used some cash the other day. It was quite nice. Initially, when we started using it again, it felt a bit strange, and you think people are going to go, "Oh, no, we're not taking take cash, mate." And there are some places that still like that. They go, "Oh no, we don't take cash anymore. It's got to be card." Unless you go somewhere for a greasy spoon, calf for something nice to eat, or go get your hair cut, and they go, "Oh no, mate, we only do cash." So if you ain't got any, it's not happening. You're not getting any breakfast, and you're not getting your hair cut. Not in the same place, mind. Or your hair in your fried eggs, mate. No. But yeah. Cash was. It just feels nice. When I was a kid, when well, they had 10 bob flipping notes, but pound notes, and they were bigger. And if you got any adverts that used to be on with money in, it was always big, thick wads of £1 notes. And as a kid, I used to go, "Oh, that's fantastic! All big wads of money." If any of you are old enough to remember loads of money to spread. Silver, in and out of van, humping gear out. It's nice to have a extra pair of hands. Yeah, that is true, mate. That is true. But I've got so used to it now, even though some of my customers offer to help me with my gear, and I kind of think, you know what, if you hurt your back or wreck your clothes, you know, it won't be good. So yeah, I'm absolutely fine, and I'm so used to doing it as well that and in my motor, I've got, when I pack it and stuff, I've got to pack it strategically, otherwise it don't fit. Everything don't fit in unless you put it in the right order. So there's no point in them piling it out in the street while I'm loading up the van, especially if it's pouring with rain or something like that. But yeah, it's nice to get some help with with stuff like that, for sure. Absolutely. Dear. As I say, I can't remember what that stuff is, but it tastes a little bit like I imagine methylated spirits would taste like. But I thought, oh yeah, I'll have a drop of that tonight, as it's Halloween. Why not? Dear. Oh. Got there. I missed anything. Right. What else have you guys been up to? Save me doing all the talking. I'm trying to think of someone got about in the boozer. Ah dear. Oh, there's a few more of us on YouTube. Three people on Facebook. Hello, Facebook viewers. Thanks for popping in to the Organ Trail and having a quick look at what this is. What's going on? What I've got on this week. I just finished that job that I was doing in Wimbledon last week. I've got on from to date now. Next week I am doing a stripping. Well, I'm stripping a bedroom, but it's customers I've worked for before. They're going away, and they said, "Oh, can you do it when we're away?" So I'm stripping the bedroom, plastering the bedroom, sing the theme tune, put the theme tune, and then I'm going to go back a few days after that and paint it all. But I only want it white, thankfully. So that should keep me busy. But I did used to give them really reasonable prices because it's been a few years since I worked for them, and of course things have changed quite a bit in the cost of living front and the price of material and stuff. They anticipate me turning up to do the job, but the quote only went in today, and I've not heard back. But I don't think it's going to be an issue. But even then, I've probably gone in a little bit lower than I should have done, just because. Yeah, because I'm an idiot. Mike, still 6 days for me. Oh, you're only doing 6 days now, Mike. Oh, well, you're taking a day off then. Silver, yeah. I think everyone else is busy, mate, except me. But it can be so variable coming up to Christmas. I've said before, I've come up to Christmas, I've worked right up to Christmas Eve before, and then the relief of then having a couple of weeks off when everything kind of shuts down is lovely, and you can get some money in the bank as well. And other times when it's gone really quiet before Christmas, right up to Christmas, which ain't great, but yeah, it's just one of those things. For any of you that haven't been here before and you haven't heard me say this shit, I'm Eric the Plasterer. This is Ask the Plasterer. We are at the Hawk and Trowel where we meet up with all the regulars and plasterers and newbies and DIYers and potential customers and chat about plastering and life in general and tools and anything you want to talk about, basically. Just kind of a meeting hub where we can like meet up. This is on once a fortnight on a Monday, starts at 7, goes on to about 8:30, and yeah, just have a bit of a chat. You can ask questions. I say I've been a plasterer in South London for 38 years, so I know a fair bit about old and fashioned plastering anyway. Danny, can't wait to go back to work, to be honest. You've not been off that long though, mate, have you? Back on the rendering, scratching big gables Thursday, as long as the weather holds out. Oh, you said on that job you've got the scaffolding up, mate, as well, weren't there? So, which is good. I have done rendering on a gable before, off of, it wasn't that high, but for those where you can have, you have 2 sets of steps, and you have a special like hooks that come out, and you put a plank across, which is fine as long as you don't step backwards. But yeah, a bit nerve-wracking using things like that. But I would always recommend if you're doing any big jobs yourself. Like that, you need to charge the customer and have proper scaffolding put up, or get them to get scaffolding put up, as opposed to ever do anything risky. Obviously, if it's low level work, it's not so much of an issue. But if you're going up on the top of a fairly big house and you're doing a gable or the sides of it, yeah, you want to be safe. Mark's sensible. He does 5 days with the team and with the boys, and then has a nice weekend off and relaxes most of the time, as far as I'm sure. But Mike, I might get a loan off you, Mike, if things don't get a bit busier. I'm sure you can afford it, mate, now. And as you've got no time to spend it, because most of the shops are shut on a Sunday still, aren't they now? So earning all that money, mate, and you got no time to spend it because you're always at bleeding work. Yeah, mate. No, it's not that. It's just not done much plastering, rendering lately. Oh, of course, you've been doing all the other stuff as well, haven't you? I'm forgetting about that. Just need to get back at it before I forget. Yeah, defo. Proper scaffold, mate. Yeah, safety first. Yeah, without a doubt, mate. Yeah, because you've been doing all the bricklaying, the other stuff, the carpentry, for all this general building stuff, mate. I'm hoping that when you got your big company rolling, that you'll employ me as the old boy that sweeps the floor on the site, on your sites. That's what I'll be good for. Mike, I'm saving up for Edinburgh, mate. Oh, okay, mate. I thought you were going to say you're saving up for a Ferrari or something like that. But yeah, the earlier you book it, Mike, the as far as I know, the cheaper it should be. And of course, the more chance you've got to get in somewhere near Princes Street on your accommodation. Because the best idea will be if we can, if we're all kind of fairly close to the main drag of Edinburgh town. Princes Street is the main. It's Princes Street, isn't it? Is the main drag that goes through. Where a lot, basically, it was the straight street you need to be in if you go there for the Hogmanay, which is fantastic. I said I've done it years ago, and it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and goes on for about 5 days. You can come work with me any day, mate. Ah, cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. We'll get me. I've got a Broomlight triggers, so I shall bring that along. James, my little 1-year-old daughter is watching the stream. Fascinated, Eric. She's loving the Halloween vibe. She should be alright with a few of the spooky things, though, mate, because you know, some of them are a little bit. But I just suppose one's probably not quite sure what's what. Well, yeah, I'm trying to think how kind of on the ball they are when they're one, but they are getting quite smart then, aren't they? So I'm worried about putting something spooky on here now, mate. Because there was oh yeah, that one. He's not very pretty. Yeah, messing up about me, brother. Yeah, I thought I'd have to get the pub a bit more Halloweeny. Danny, 12 new heads and handles. That's it, mate. Still a good brush. That cracked me up the first time I saw it. Probably, Danny, you're probably too young to have seen it the first time around. But yeah, when he starts talking about his broom. That was on a similar par with me, with our Del Boy dropping through the bar. Mike, it's my wife's birthday, 13th, so going to be expensive. Oh, on the 13th, mate. Right, okay. Oh, hang on. Excuse me while I look at stuff and things. Hey, evening, Mark. Can I interest you in some extra time? Just get it from Easy Mix. Easy Mix with a Z, mate. Fantastic stuff. Want to slow your set down by an hour or so? Ooh, beautiful, beautiful. Get plenty more work done. More doshers. I'm not biased. No. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. Yep. Last time we had half time. This week we got extra time. Are you sure, Mark? I've got something I could send you. Hey. Evening, mate. Evening. You're watching from Facebook, Mark? Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, Daniel, Fools and Horses, mate, is just classic. Only trouble is, I remember I used to watch Open All Hours, which was something with David Jason was in when he was younger, and it didn't feel like that was that long ago. And when I see him now and I see how old he is, it reminds me of how old I'm getting, and it's really creeps up fast, really spooky, really spooky. Oh. Right, have you seen, Mark, that on the Trout Talk the old man thing's kicking in, and the Trout Talk storefront, Amazon storefront on Trout Talk, there's you can get your extra time or any of your Easy Mix products on there now as well. So if you want any of this stuff, guys, that's a good place to go to get it. Or well, you can get it from any suppliers nowadays, and yeah, it's all good stuff. Oh, don't do that. Yep. Oh, well, we've got a few people on on YouTube, and oh, there was one person on Facebook, and now it's free. Now it's free. Oh dear. I think because most of the people that know me on my Facebook page, my family and friends, are flipping out. It's only Eric waffling on again about bloody plastering. Oh, dearie me. How are we doing for time? Still only early, and it feels early. 7:46. It's only 7:45. James, do you still buy your polythene online, or do you buy any other materials online too? Are there any deals you know of? Actually, some stuff that I will recommend to Stu to put on the Trail Talk storefront is the rolls of plastic that they do. When I order a few of those from Amazon, if I forget and I'm running low, my local place. To find it hard to find in other places, but I'm lucky enough that my local place does a lovely roll and a big plastic for the floors, and so I'll get it from there. But more or less, when I get in bulk buying, I will get it on Amazon. The other thing is really good to buy on Amazon is angle beads. Much cheaper to buy thin coat beads anyway, and stop beads as well, because stop beads are ridiculous price for no good reason. At the minute. It depends to have any guest spreads on again, mate. Yeah, it might do silver. It purely depends on what people want, or who they might want me to do an interview with. But we'll see. I was hoping to leave a few of the interview things to Stu. He's so busy, I think, with other stuff at the minute. But it's all good. But yeah, I'm still up for doing interviews. If you've got any suggestions that you want to put in the comments to the video once this goes out as a video, then yeah, let me know, and I'll try and get in contact with said people, even if it's like Venetian plastering or something like that, and we'll do some more interviews. Quite happy to do those. Oh, I'm going to send you some homemade cider called Looney Juice. Oh, I saw your bottles of that, mate. On I think it must have been on Facebook. Off my small orchard. Okay, you got a small orchard as well, mate. Oh, please do, mate. Please do. Is it glass bottles, or can you? Or are they plastic? I'm just thinking, going through the post, mate. Make sure they've got plenty of bubble wrap around them. But yeah, I'd love to try a drop with that, Mark. Love to try a drop. If you plan on going into production, mate, yeah, we could probably plug that, can't we? Oh, why not? But yeah, I look forward to a bit of Looney Juice, Mark. Thanks for that. Richard, Eric, do I need to bring my trowels in Edinburgh? No, mate. Please don't bring anything to do with plastering to Edinburgh. Just your plastic, some cash. Yeah, that's it really. Obviously we could talk. We will be talking about plastering, won't we? Because that's what we all do, isn't it? So we'll talk about plastering. We'll talk about work in general. We'll talk about Trail Talk. We'll talk about Ask the Plasterer, and just get to know each other a bit better and have a good laugh. It's a pity it's so far away, because I'm really looking forward to it now. It should be a cracker. Mark, guest was on Facebook. Plastic bottles. Okay, mate, cool. Yeah, no, I remember seeing it. I shall look forward to sampling that, Mark. Cheers, mate. Should be good. Thinking of checking train prices from St Pancras to Edinburgh. I assume you can get one from there. Yeah, I think, James, I'm probably going from, I think it's King's Cross. Because you can, the last time I went up to Edinburgh on the sleeper, I think that was from King's Cross. I got a train about 9 in the evening I'll be getting the train on the Tuesday evening to get me there for Wednesday morning. Leaves about 9. You can have something to eat on there. It's lovely. You can have a drink. And if you get a sleeper bed as opposed to just a reclining chair, that's lovely. And then you basically wake up in Scotland about 4 or 5 in the morning. But at least you haven't had to drive. And planes and stuff, mate. Yeah, they can be alright. Sometimes you get just so much hassle just to get to the airport and get through there and get. But it's probably cheaper to fly to Edinburgh than it is to get a train up there. But I just quite enjoyed the actual trip up on the train, and yeah, no, it'd be nice, But yeah, look into the prices, mate. Oh, well, now I'm 60. I should be able to get a discount, I've been told. So that'd be good, but I'll let you know for anyone else that's as old as me that's coming up to Edinburgh. Yeah, you can get I don't know what the percentage is off, but with the card you can get when you're 60, cheaper. It gets you some kind of Oyster card. You can get cheaper train travel. So I'm hoping that yeah, I can get a reasonable price up there. Otherwise it's going to end up costing me more than going abroad for a week. Mark, could you... Oh, hang on, James, thinking of checking... Oh, yeah, sorry. Mark, could do a reconnaissance? For New Year? Ah, reconnaissance, sorry, mate. I'm thinking, that's a big word. We could, while we're up there, mate. Oh, for the following New Year, obviously, yeah. Or do you mean pop up there? Pop up there now. Oh, New Year up there, mate. It was the time I went. Well, we got tickets, but we should have got them sent to us while we were still in London, because the tickets to get into the main street for the Hogmanay on the night is. We had to queue up. We thought, well, we'll get him in Edinburgh, but the queue around the big green I can't remember where it is, went on for miles. I had to queue up for about 3 hours to get our ticket to get in for the following night. But yeah, well, had to look it up. What, how to spell it, mate? I can't even say it, let alone spell it. Oh dear. But yeah. It was amazing, because they have outdoor ice rings along the street, and street entertainers with all the old, juggling blooming flaming torches and just loads of stuff going on. Different places you can go to over like 4 or 5 nights, and it's amazing. I think I was not permanently drunk, just permanently tipsy, and just just enjoyed it to bits, mate. So yeah, I'd love to do a Hogmanay out there again. But yeah, we'll do a reconnaissance mission while we're up there, mate. See if we can book early tickets for the following one, or for the next one. Yeah, might be able to get a discount on them if you buy them in May. Dear. Big street party in Europe. Yeah, it is. Yeah, because they have big stages set up as well, don't they, down Prince's Street, and had the fireworks going off the top of the castle. And I thought, because when I went there, when I hadn't been before, I was thinking, I don't know how Scottish fellas get a bit rowdy. But I think I was confusing it with Glasgow. But yeah, lovely people and a fantastic time. And that's the first massive event I've been to with a lot of drunk people that all seem to be happy and having a cracking time. I think you might get the odd thing here or there, but I didn't see any of it. It was just like I should be plugging stuff for Edinburgh, shouldn't I? I mean, excuse me, the festival and the Fringe and all that. The Fringe is a good crack to go down there for that. I went there. Yeah, that was a different time. Went down for that, and because there's just hundreds of little venues in pubs and clubs and just all over the shop where you can go, and it's like 2 or 3 quid to get in each one. And especially because I like a bit of the old comedians and stuff. They've got some brilliant people doing stuff there, and there's hundreds of them. So that's amazing as well. So yeah, Hogmanay. Obviously our May trip's going to be something else, mate. and the Edinburgh Fringe, all bloody brilliant. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough of me saying how wonderful Edinburgh is, and Scotland as a whole. Yeah. If anybody else hasn't asked me a question about anything at all, ask away. Oh, you can. There is a phone. You see the phone number up here. There is a phone into the pub, and you can ring me in the pub and have a chat if you want. Or if you're watching it on the TV, it will be easier. Or borrow someone else's phone if you're using yours to watch this and to participate. And yeah, get your old voice up on the old telly box. On the old YouTube. Oh dear. Yep, I was doing a bit more of a love job for me daughter today at the place, but that's I think all the plastering is now finished there, and me son-in-law to be's dad, who's a professional decorator, I'm pleased to say, he's doing the decorating. So that's a plus for me. But I think they might. Oh, excuse me, might want a bit of help fitting the kitchen, which I didn't think I was going to be getting involved with, but now it looks like I probably am. So while it's been quiet for me, I might as well. I might as well. Sorry. Oh, actually, I might use some of that to clean the toilet. Oh dear. Hello, baby. Any pops? Any funny stories? Worst job you've ever done? Weirdest customer? I don't think I've had any weird customers. I've had the ones I've told most of the people about that didn't make me a cup of tea, drunk their tea, at their dinner in front of me, and their snacks and stuff, or happily chatting away to me. And that other person's partner, when she went out and he came in and cracked open the crate of beers, and yeah, I wouldn't have drunk one anyway, but he proceeded to drink and talk to me. He didn't even offer me a cup of tea either. I've probably had some other weird customers. When I started out plastering, actually when I was still at the college, and there was a big family up the road that, they'd done their own rendering, and but they were no good at skimming. So they asked me and this other guy, and we were complete rookies, if we would want to give them a price to do it, which we did. And it was rough. Trying to get them, must have used bags and bags of finish to try and get over this render that they had done. And and there was a whole family of them just pulled up chairs and spent the whole day that me and this guy were trying to bash this thing out, watching us like we were television, and that was horrible. And never since then have I ever had that many people watching me work, and making an event out of it. Yeah, they're eating and just watching. There must have been 10 of them at least, just all sitting in a row, watching me and this guy sweat our proverbials off to get that done. What do you think of me pub, Linz? Like me? Do you like me? We've got me dancing skeletons here. Got a couple of the guys. I got me pumpkins. I've got a little bit of the old rumbly thunder. Alright, yeah, there we go. Got creepy doll girl. Ooh. There's that as well, but yeah, it's a bit boring, that one. Okay, spooky girl. She's not so she's spooky. I don't like her very much. It's fun. Yeah. She's got a terrible case of conjunctivitis. We've got fireworks. But just while I'm getting ready for the 5th of November. Yeah, and we've got Matey Boy as well. But yeah, it'll be a lot more chilled out the next one. Without having to have all the spooky stuff. And James found a sleeper return for 205. 3 people. Oh, for three people. 205, 3 people, not bad. Just need to look at hotels. Never been there before, so got no idea. Yeah, I'm not up on what places. I know a couple of the guys know a few places, but I'll probably be full up by the time we try to book them. But yeah, it's just best to do a bit of investigating, and I say my assumption will be whatever you're doing, it will be cheaper to try and book a sleeper up there if you're going to get a sleeper sooner rather than later, even though it's a way off. And the same with booking a place to stay. It's just once it's done, like when I do my own bookings and stuff, once it's done I can just forget about it, and it kind of be paid for, and you know, I can just look forward to the event and the build up that we will have coming up closer to it, which will be good. And then yeah, again, like as I've said, just really looking forward to meeting up on that one. Well, let's just pop here again for a second for anyone who didn't see this. Oh. Yay! Oh, is it still raining out? Right, what's the time? 3 minutes past 8. Yeah, we're going on for a little while yet. The thing is, when you see people on the, watching the stream, you don't know whether it's the same people that have just been watching you all this time. Because it says the average watch time for something like this when it's live is about 10 minutes before people like disappear and do something else. So you kind of think, oh, should I sort of say something like who I am, what I'm doing here, and what this is all about, in case these people haven't heard me say it already, or are they the same people that have been on for since we started? There's no way of knowing. Mark Neeson, how long is it on the train? The train up, I think if you get the train if it leaves about 9:30, I think you get to Edinburgh about 4:30, 5 in the morning, which is a bit early, but yeah, I'm sure I could find a lovely place to have a nice big old fry up and just kind of like wake up proper after me chuggy night's sleep up to Scotland. But yeah, so how long was that? 10, 11, 12, 3, yeah, 5 or 6 hours, something like that, which is yeah, long enough. Also though, on the sleepers you get if you're in the old bunk rooms, whatever, they wake you up with a cup of coffee or tea and nice hot sausage roll or something, I can't remember now. But and they tell you that, oh, we're going to be pulling into Edinburgh in the next 20 minutes, whatever, half an hour, so you've got time to get dressed, have a bit of breakfast and sort yourself out. But yeah, I've driven up there a couple of times, and it's too far, man, it's too far. Well, from London anyway, and yeah, I don't like driving anywhere that takes longer than an hour and a half, and it's about 8 or 9 hours, because you've got to stop for fuel, you've got to stop for toilet breaks, for lunch, for something to eat, and that all adds on, because every time when you do stop, you know, it's not a short stop, is it? You end up, if you're going to have something to eat on the way up there, if you're driving up, you tend to be in the place about 3/4 of an hour, and sometimes more, before you're then on your way again, and going, oh yeah, only another 400 miles to go. Yeah, so yeah, I love the train. You can chill out. They got Wi-Fi on them and all that now as well, don't they? Or you can read a book or something, or just go to bed early. But and you can have a drink as well because you're not driving. So yeah, Richard, Eric, what's your routine normally on a day off? When I'm off, mate, there are so many things around my house, garden and garage that need doing, and I just I'm spoiled for choice, and it's deciding what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do next, and what I'm going to do first. And if you're sensible, which I'm not, and you go, right, oh, what I'm going to do, I'm off tomorrow, I'm going to do this and that, and that's my plan. Instead, I will wait until tomorrow comes, and I'll go, well, what should I do today? I mean, I'll just pop. Oh, I've got a quote to do. Yeah, I'll pop and I'll do a quote, and then I might look at Facebook, and then I might get a bit caught up in the social media stuff, and then I'll think, oh, should I organise something for this to sort out my ask the plasterer for the next one. And before you know it, you can spend a good few hours, as most of you probably know, in front of a computer or on your phone. And so the other thing that I should have done, like just finish off clearing out my garage and topping up the skip I've got out the front. Really, you should start that. If you should plan that the day before and go, right, yeah, tomorrow morning I'm going to get up, I'm going to finish clearing out the garage, get the skip filled up, and get it taken away. If you mess about in the morning doing this kind of stuff on your computer, and then you leave it a bit late to the afternoon, and well, my heart's not in it, and you've got a lot less time to sort it out. By which time it's lunchtime as well, and by the time you've had some lunch and sit down and stuff, yeah, so I don't get as much done on a day off as I would like to because I don't plan it. Which so the lesson to be learned there is, if you know, plan stuff. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, is the famous saying, which I'm very surprised that I've been able to remember. Oh dear. So yeah, the worst thing is if you've got 2 days off and then you do exactly the same thing the day after that as well. I love organised people. I would love to be more organised than I am. In life in general, and fairly organised with work because you have to be, if you want it to go well and make money out of it as well. But everything else, yeah, it tends to. As I said, there's just so many options, so many things I could do. When the council cut me grass and they sprayed it all up my car, and it's still stuck to the side, and yeah, could do with a wash, you know, get all that grass off. They're jobs that need to be done, but they're just so boring at the end of the day. And of course, generally that ends up being my job, is cleaning cars, or doing any other kind of blue jobs. Most jobs seem to be blue ones, so and that's so good. If anybody that is watching this on YouTube, I'm Eric, and you've not been here very long, but I'm Eric the Plasterer. I've been a plasterer in South London for 38 years. You can ask me any plastering related questions. You can tell me what kind of day you've had, whether it's been a good one or a bad one. You can review tools and say they were fantastic or they were horrible. You can just generally chat and get your day off your chest if it's been a bit like yeah, and that's it really. We tend to meet up, me and the regular guys here, every other Monday for just a bit of a chat. We'll like grab a drink and sit here in the Hawken Trail, and yeah, it's just this because it's Halloween and it happened to fall on Halloween this year. We thought we'd do a bit of the old Halloween decks in the pub. just to give it that atmosphere. Yeah. Still using my ox trowel, Michael. Actually, I gave it a bit of a sanding today when I was finishing off this bit of spreading, because I had noticed lately when I'd been doing the hard trowel with it, I was getting a slight line on the finish, and which was obviously a teeny weeny dink. But you can sand those out fairly easy, even though it's a stainless, because they're thin metal. Those flexes, it's really easy to do. Or did you mean my big ox trowel that I bought, the 18-inch job that's 5 inches across? Yeah, I used that last week when I was doing this job in Wimbledon. And again, as I say, for laying on, when I'm laying on finish on large areas, walls or ceilings, because of that 18 inches of the length and that 5 inches of width, you can really like cover a wall nice and quick with it. But again, because it's not very well worn in, I'm not using it for, I'm not using it for troweling up, because it's just not sharp enough. And I'm reverting back to my standard Marshalltown trowel, and then finishing off with my Ox Flexi right at the end after using my speed skims and all the rest of it. But anyway, I sanded that out, and that's fine again. But the big one, yeah, I wouldn't, and I wouldn't use it for putting on large areas of bonding or anything, because it's 5 inches wide. It's a lot of weight to take up bonding on and to be spreading it around. But you can, if you're doing a small area with it, it's great. But with bonding, if you're gonna bond over a big wall, which one of the walls in Wimbledon, it was a plasterboard wall. They'd taken the decorators had stripped it, but it had only been taped and jointed, and they more or less took a lot of the board, the card off, the white card off the top, and the joints were a rough old job anyway. So yeah, couldn't really get away with just skimming it, so I bonded that. And I think I used my ordinary trowel for that, because I didn't want to spread that much gear with the big one. In case I start wrecking me joints, mate, as I said, they've lasted me really well this long. So yeah, I don't want to spoil it now by getting an injury, because the older you get, the harder it is for those, if you do get an injury, if you get over it. And if there's anything to do with your tendons, because tendons don't get a lot of blood supply, they take a lot longer to heal up, even when you're younger, than muscles do. I learned that from when I was a personal trainer. Forgotten everything else, but I remember that one. Oh dear. Danny gonna drive up, I reckon, hopefully in a new van. Oh, a new van as well, mate. Yeah, I don't know what depending where you. When we went there for the Hogmanay celebration, we were like in a tenement block, and they had like an underground car park, like it was all gated. You know, it was a bit rough and ready, but it was right underneath the castle, which is brilliant. And I think the people that just, like a lot of them do, they move out of their house or their block or whatever, and they rent it out to people, because they get a good old bit of money in for it, and they just go and live with some other relatives over the period, and make a few quid. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what parking is like in and around Edinburgh. As I say, we went up there in the people carrier when we went. We parked it in this underground sort of car park that was part of the tenement block, and it stayed in there basically till we went home. Because you can walk around Edinburgh. It's yeah, it's just a nice sized little city. Would you call it? I don't know. It's yeah, you don't really need a car once you're there, but yeah, if you're driving up, mate, and I don't know how long it'll take you, Danny, from where you are. You got any idea? James, how many bags do you usually buy at any one time, Eric? I used to buy a fair bit of bonding and finish and stuff and stick it in my garage, just so I didn't have to keep going and, you know, picking some up from a job. And I also, before the Amazon stuff and all that, I used to use one of those companies for like beads and tape and stuff, but they'd ring you up, they come from up north somewhere, and sort of say, oh mate, you know, our van's going to be coming down to London, do you want we can do you this many beads for like a pretty good price over as well. But it's on account, you know, they'll give you an account, and I used to stock up stuff like that. But of course, these guys, once you do have an account and you order a load of stuff, which when you're a one-man band doing domestics, it lasts you a good while. But every month they're on the phone trying to flog you more, and you kind of like, woo. And of course, at the end of the month, you've also got to pay your account off. And I thought, you know what, I think I'll just go back to just buying the gear that I need for the jobs. You know, have a little bit to one side, but not get too much, not buy too much stuff in bulk, and especially keeping plaster in the garage ain't a great idea, because especially through the winter, if it does get a bit damp, yeah, it's just not great. So I tend to buy what I need for a job day before, a couple of days before maybe. I never buy it on the day, because obviously I want to get there and get it done. Though we should be charging for that though, guys, don't forget, because it's all your time that you're spending picking up gear for that customer. But I think a lot of them don't take that into account, that while you're doing those things, you know, it is your time. And as I see it, like when I've got, because I want to get to a job for 8 o'clock, if I'm getting up at 6, and I think, well, technically, yeah, I'm getting up at 6 for the customer because I need to be at their house at 8, and yeah, that's sort of all be part of what you're pricing for. Apart from the fact that the amazing skill and artistry that us plasterers have in this trade, it's worth paying. It's worth paying good money for. So as I said last time I was on, although it's a cost of living crisis, don't drop your prices. Say unless you have to. I mean, you'd have to be, yeah, unless you're absolutely desperate for work, to pay your bills, to pay your mortgage off. Once you drop your prices, especially because you get a lot of customers will come back to you for future work, and if you go a bit too low, they expect that price when things pick up again. They still expect that price later on. So for you to sort of like ramp it up again, they're kind of like, oh, yeah, that's a lot more than it was last time you did the job. So if you keep with something that you're happy with, regardless, because there are a lot of people out there that can afford to have you as a plasterer, and they got good pensions, or they got plenty of money in the bank, or whatever, and they can afford to pay for a good plasterer at a good plasterer's rates. Oh, we ask Rich Welfare. He does some top-end, high-end jobs now, for sure. But I thought actually that where is it? I thought this guy looked a little bit like Rich at a glance. Not that you can tell that easily. It's not him. Oh dear. Danny, I love a bit of rough and ready. What are we talking about there, Danny? Love a bit of rough and ready, me. I'm a West Country boy. I don't know what we're talking about now, mate. I'm a bit concerned. Oh dear. That was what one of my girlfriends used to say about me. Oh dear, a bit of rough, thanks. About 6 or 7 hours non-stop, mate, from Bristol. Oh god, dear, 6 or 7 hours, yeah. Yeah, I suppose when you're younger, mate, and a bit stupid, you don't mind going non-stop for 6 or 7 hours. But when you get older and wiser, you just kind of think, oh, that was silly, wasn't it? Gotta let your motor cool down a bit, especially if you get a new motor, mate. You know, you don't want to push it. Don't want to push it. I mean, if it's a well-worn-in new motor, or a nearly new motor, fine. But don't ever buy anything brand new and then go on a long trip and like hammer it, because it might not be good. It might not be properly run in. Just have to run things in now. Back in the day, if you bought a new car, you had a new engine, you had to run it in. You had to like go about 30 miles an hour everywhere for, I don't know, weeks, month or two, to like bed everything in so it ran smooth. But that's not the same today, is it? With all the modern technology, all the computers in your engine, You was on about the car park under Edinburgh Castle, I think, mate. Yeah, that's what all the birds say. Yeah. Yeah. Oh right, yeah, no, fair enough, mate. But yeah, yeah, you don't. Once you're in Edinburgh, you don't really need a motor to. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go there for a week or two and you want to go out, you know, excursion out, then yeah. But otherwise, if you're just going to meet up for a few days, as I say, Edinburgh itself, you can walk around the place. I don't want to make that sound like it's teensy weensy, because it's not. But it's I don't know. And as I say, Hogmanay, just the atmosphere was amazing. So generally, yeah, just a nice place. If it was nearer, I'd go more often. Put it that way. Mark Neeson just messaged me with cheap flights for 30 quid. Oh, blimey. So I think I'll do that instead. Yeah, it'd be better than driving for 6 or 7 hours, mate. Yeah, get a cheap flight. That's probably 30 quid each way though, mate, isn't it? And make sure the thing you've got to be careful of with, I don't think flights are so bad, but it's like with the old car hire. You can find car hire places that go, no, we'll hire you a car for £20 a day. And it's when you pick it up and they go, oh, but it is plus this, plus that, you've got to do this, you've got to leave us £1,000 deposit before we give you the key, and yeah, and you will get that back 3 weeks after you get home and all that kind of, yeah. But yeah, but no, you could probably fly to Edinburgh cheaper than you can get a train or drive up there. But yeah. No, if I can get a decent price for a train up early on, then I'll do that. If I ended up having to book it later, then I'd probably get a plane. But then you normally find out. I mean, back in the day, if you went somewhere short notice on a plane, it was really cheap. And if you wanted to like book it in advance, it was more expensive. And that seems to be the other way around. If you go for a last minute flight somewhere, it's kind of like, oh, if you want to go last minute, you know, you got to pay through the nose. So it's whatever makes the company's money, mate, isn't it? At the end of the day. Ah, dear. What's the time? Oh, it's 8:23. 1 minute time's going really slow, and the next minute it goes shoo. Oh dear. Probably, but still, they'll be much cheaper than driving with the price of diesel these days. Well, yeah, that's the point, mate. Yeah, I was even really thinking about the. I was just thinking about the hours to get up there and stuff. But yeah, the price of diesel or petrol to go to be driving for 6 or 7 hours up to Scotland is yeah, it was expensive years ago. But I did have a Chrysler people carrier, 4 litres, 4.5 litres. I don't know. It was a massive, and it was petrol as well, and lovely motor, comfortable as anything. We got it as well, so actually I bought it in auction. I went to, I think it was that one, or it might have been the previous one, but I went to an auction to buy, because you could get a much better deal going to auctions for old lease cars and that. I really wanted a Chrysler, an old one, but a Chrysler nonetheless. And I went to an auction, and I could see the Chrysler coming out, and there's some other motors. Anyway, I started bidding for what I thought was the Chrysler, and anyway, I won this bid, and then they went, and next the Chrysler, and then the Chrysler pulled, and I thought I was just bidding on the Chrysler. And I won I kept bidding on the Chrysler. I won the Chrysler. I went to pay my deposit for it, whatever, and they went, well, that's 2 motors, mate. Yeah, I think it was 3 or 4 grand for the whatever this car was I've accidentally bought, and I think it was 9 or 10 grand for the Chrysler. And I went, what do you mean the other car? They went, yeah, you bought that one and the Chrysler. I went, no, never, mate. Luckily, I got off from that. So basically, I accidentally bid on 2 motors, which I didn't have the money for. So they managed to, yeah. I think they're probably just happy to sell the Chrysler. So I got away with only having to pay for the Chrysler, but they weren't very happy. And I was putting myself a bit. But yeah, it's like other than that. But that particular Chrysler got rear-ended Christmas Eve up in Fir Tree Road in Epsom. Someone hadn't cleaned their windscreen properly, and I had the brakes on. I had it in parked, and this guy hit it from the back on the corner and took it down the road, busted all the leaf springs in the back. It was wrecked. But cut a long story short, they tried to fix it and palm it back off on us, but it wasn't safe, and we ended up getting it written off and getting paid out for it. So we bought another one in auction, but I was a lot more careful at that one. Oh dear. So I've got now is a big Merc Sprinter high top, and cost me 120 million to fill up. Wow, mate. Yeah, well, my little Freelander, that's about 98 pounds for me to fill that up, and it's not, you know, it's not a massive motor. So yeah, any big van, it's gonna cost you dear, mate. And yeah, you definitely don't want to drive up to Edinburgh in that. Not if you can get a plane for 30 quid. Oh dear. Oh, and I just told the missus that I was hoping to go to Edinburgh. Oh dear. And she seems alright about it. But I think it means also means that she wants to go somewhere. If I can do that, she wants to be able to have an holiday as well. Which is fair enough. James, when you get small little leaks in your plastic bucket, do you throw them away? So annoying when it happens. I do chuck them out, mate. There's nothing worse. My big mixing tubs as well. I tend to. Recently they've been fine, but there's been times where I haven't had one for long. The big fat ones, because I do all my knocking up in those, because I can get a couple of bags in there. They've got a nice wide top, so you can get in there to get your gear out. And when I use those, it's I've had them. I've not had them very long, and so I've poured a couple of buckets of water in. I go to get a bag again. When I turn around, I mean, luckily I got my plastic down because I've done it like wall to wall. And suddenly there's just this lake starting to appear, where the water's just coming out of somewhere at the bottom of these buckets, and the big ones, not the small ones. And you think, flipping hell. And I've still tried to. I think maybe if you get the finishing quick enough before the water starts coming out. But now any buckets, mate, big or small, now I'll just buy a new bucket. Sometimes even when they're, you know, just when they're not leaking, you kind of think, oh, that bucket's had it a bit in it now. I'll get a new bucket. What you don't want is a bucket with a knackered handle, because you don't want to be walking with a whole bucket of water for a customer's house. And then your handle snap or break off one side of your bucket. And because a bucket of water, it goes a long way on the floor. I mean, in your bucket, you kind of think, well, it's not that much water, but well, if you spill a whole bucket of water on the floor, it's, yeah, basically like a massive pond or a lake, more of a lake than a pond, which ain't great. So, yeah, no, I tend to be always careful with buckets and make sure that they've got no holes in, mate, no holes in. And it is annoying, but I think those buckets are only about 90p or £1 or something, you know, the black plastic ones. Oh, not that I've checked recently. They're probably about 4 or 5 quid now. The way things have been going. Oh dear. What's that? Done it? 120 at Costco, which is 10p cheaper a litre minimum than anywhere around me. What is that? What's that for, Danny? Oh, hang on. Check. Sorry guys, bear with me in a second. Is that £1 cheaper for a bucket at Costco's you're talking about there, Danny? Cheaper a litre. Or we're talking about PVA? We're talking about... Oh, you're talking about Costco petrol. Costco petrol. Our Costco ain't got a petrol station, so that kind of threw me a bit for there for a second. They got a tyre place. You want to buy new tyres, but they don't do budget ones. They only do Dunlop and Michelin, and yeah, 2 or 3. So you can pay 200 or 300 quid for one tyre. Oh dear. Diesel, yeah. Sorry, mate. Mark handles are very weak nowadays. Yeah, you just got to be so careful, mate. Again, I mean, even I'm thankful when I have spilt water on a job or a bucket has leaked, because I have got that decent plastic and I've gone wall to wall with it. You can get it mopped up, and a little bit might go through, but not worth worrying about. But if you've just got some kind of ground sheet down or a dust sheet, I think even the ones that got the plastic on the back, you kick over a bucket of water or your handle breaks, man, it's yeah. Oh, the hassle's just not nice. So I'm always very careful, mate, with my water, and very thankful that I cover everything in plastic. Saves me life. Leaves my jobs looking nice and sparkly at the end. And as you say, if we buy it, if Stu puts it on the Trout Talk storefront now, then we're about to order it from there. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing how well that goes. The storefront, it should be good. Should be good. I love it at Costco's. Need to stay away from the pizzas. Oh, mate, they do. It's the fact for. Well, the last time I bought one in there, it was £6, £7 for the. What was it? 24 inches. It's massive. You couldn't get an oven at home because they'll cook them for you, won't they? That's what the ones you like. You know, you can buy the square ones in a box, but in the canteen place at our one, you can buy these like 24-inch pizzas, and you kind of think, when you can buy that for £7 in here, why would you pay 20 whatever quid and upwards for that, and chips and a bottle of Coke from Pizza Express or somewhere? Because they are lovely pizzas. But I've noticed lately quite a lot of people go into Costco's on the weekend to buy like pizza and stuff, because they're so flipping cheap and massive, which is brilliant. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean, mate. I know you said that, mate. I really fancy a pizza. I ain't got any. Ah, dear. Oh. Right. Let's go for the whole blooming shebang. Right. Right, bear with me a second. Right. Right, my dears, it's gone 8:30. I'm going to love you and leave you, and I will see you in a fortnight's time. Thanks for coming along. Very nice indeed. And if you've been new here, yeah, thanks for that, and welcome along, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time on the old on the Monday night. Yep, fortnight from now, and yeah, and it won't be Halloween. It won't be Halloween. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you later, guys. And yeah, don't forget the storefront at yeah, give it have a look it up on Trout Talk. And if you're not a member of Trout Talk, it'd be great to become a member on there. And also the Trout Talk. I'm losing the plot. It's also the Trout Talk YouTube channel. This renowned spread, Stuart Roberts. Yes. Thanks for coming along, people. And yeah, I'll see you soon. As I say, this goes out as a video as soon as the live stream's finished. and I promise that in the next day or so this will go out as a podcast for wherever you get your podcast, so you can listen to it at work or on your travels without having to have YouTube open. And yeah, should be cool. So happy Halloween, enjoy firework nights. I might see you on Trail Talk or on the Discord server, on my forum, or yeah. Bye for now.